Today we will be starting with a new chapter, probability. So first of all, we'll see what is a probability. You can say a probability is the extent to which something is likely to happen or something is likely to occur. Or you can say probability is a chance of something will happen. Probability is a chance of something will happen. So we'll find what is gonna happen. That's what probability is. Suppose you take an example. A coin is tossed one time. Okay. If you toss a coin one time, there is how many possibilities are there? Either you'll get a head or you'll get a tail. These are the possibilities when you toss a coin. So if the question is, you need to find the probability of getting a head. So first you see how many heads are there. Here you can see only one head. So write 1 divided by what are the total possibilities you will get when you toss a coin one time. Either you will get a head or a tail. So how many possibilities are there? 2 possibilities. So 1 by 2 is the probability of getting a head. Same way you can find the probability of getting a tail. How many tails are there? Only one tail. Possibility of getting a tail is only one time. So write 1 by how many total number of possibilities? Either you'll get a head or a tail. So 2 possibilities are there. So 1 by 2 is the probability of getting a head and also probability of getting a tail. So first, if you want to find the probability of getting a head, first count how many possibilities are there to get a head. Here I have only one possibility, that is only one time head is there. So divided by what are the total number of possibilities. Here total number of possibilities is 1, 2. Head or a tail. So I have written 2. So 1 by 2 is the possibility of getting a head. Same 1 by 2 is the possibility of getting a tail. So such an event you can call as equally likely event. Equally likely. Equally likely event means it is an event that has same theoretical probability of occurring. See, here probability of getting a head is 1 by 2. Probability of getting a tail is also 1 by 2. So the probabilities are equal, and also you can say this event has same theoretical probability of occurring. So this event is equally likely. Both the probabilities are equal. Equal chances are there. You can write equally likely event. The event that has same theoretical probability of occurring, or in a bracket you can say the probabilities are equal. Formula for finding the probability of an event. So P of E means probability of event E equal to number of outcomes favorable to E. So in our last example, number of outcomes favorable to head. That means how many number of heads are there. So you can write P of E is equal to number of outcomes favorable to E divided by total number of possible outcomes. So this is the formula for finding the probability of an event. P of E is equal to number of outcomes favorable to E divided by total number of possible outcomes. Now we'll see the types of events. First one is impossible events. So what do you mean by impossible events? It is the probability of an event cannot happen. Probability of an event which cannot happen. So that is what? Impossible events. So below that you can write the probability of an impossible event is probability of impossible event is equal to 0 because it cannot happen. So the probability of impossible event will be 0. Now the next one, sure, or you can say certain events. So this is sure or certain event is the probability of an event that is certain to happen. Probability of an event that is certain to happen. And you can write probability of sure or certain event is equal to, what is the probability of sure event which is sure to happen, equal to 1. So probability of impossible event is 0, probability of sure event is 1. Next one, elementary event. So it is the event having only one outcome. Event having only one outcome is known as elementary event. Then you can write the sum of probabilities of all the elementary events of an experiment is 1. Then I'll explain you, like the sum of all the probabilities will be always equal to 1. Now next we will study complementary events. So now I have told you the sum of probabilities will be always equal to 1. So you can write P of E. P of E means probability of event E plus P of E dash means what? Not E. This is P of E. This is P of not E. That's why we are representing it by putting a line above the E. That means it is not E, other than E. Okay? Equal to, I say the sum will be always equal to 1. So probability of event E plus probability of event not E will be always equal to 1. So this E and E dash is called probability complementary events. Complementary events. So this one is called E complement, not E. So this E and not E is known as complementary events, opposite of E. So you can say complementary events. Now you can note down one more point, that is always the probability of an event will lie between 0 and 1. So right, the probability of an event E is a number such that it lies between 0 and 1. So you can write like this: 0 less than or equal to probability of E less than or equal to 1. That means probability of an event lies between 0 and 1. So whenever you compute a probability of anything, certain event, you'll get the value as 0 point something, 0 point something, because it will always lie between 0 and 1. Such that if you add all those probability, you'll get 1. The sum will always be 1. Okay, now we'll move to next part. See an example. Okay, example number 1. Find the probability of getting a head when a coin is tossed once. See, the coin is tossed once. Also, find the probability of getting a tail. So here you need to find the probability of getting a head and probability of getting a tail. We have already done this one. I've already told you, see how many heads will be there? 1 head. So it is 1 by 2. How many tail? 1 by 2 again. Now you can come to example number 2. A bag contains a red ball, a blue ball and a yellow ball. All the balls being of the same size. Kritika takes out a ball from the bag without looking into it. What is the probability that she takes out the first case is yellow ball, then red ball, then blue ball. That means you need to find the probability of getting a yellow ball, probability of getting a red ball and also the probability of getting a blue ball. So we'll write it. First of all, write the given details. Red ball, one red ball is there, blue, that is also 1, yellow, that is also 1. So you need to find the probability of getting a yellow ball. See, probability of getting a yellow ball, you can write P of yellow equal to, first of all, see how many yellow balls are there. Only one yellow ball is there. So 1 by, what is the total number of possible outcomes? 1, 2, 3. So 1 by 3 is the probability of getting a yellow ball. Now, probability of getting a red ball, P of red. How many red balls are there? Only 1. So 1 by total is 3. Same way, P of blue ball, P of blue. That is also 1 by 3. 1 blue ball divided by total number of possible outcomes. That is 3. 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3 is our probabilities. Now we can check whether the sum of probabilities are equal to 1 or not. See, here you got 1 by 3, 1 by 3 and 1 by 3. So I'm going to add 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. I need to check whether I'll get 1 or not. Because they have told the sum of probabilities will always be 1. So 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3 by denominator 3. 3 by 3 equal to 1. See, I got the sum as 1. Now we'll see next example. Example number 3. Suppose we throw a die once. What is the probability of getting a number greater than 4? What is the probability of getting a number less than or equal to 4? This is the question. So a die is thrown once. That means first of all you need to write what is the possible total number of possible outcomes. See, if a die is thrown once, a die contains numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 6. So this is a possible outcome. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total number of possible outcomes is equal to 6. Right? So they are asking what is the probability of getting a number greater than 4. See, here you can see how many numbers are there greater than 4. Only 5 and 6 greater than 4. So 1, 2. 2 numbers are there greater than 4. So you can write probability of getting a number greater than, you can write number greater than 4 is equal to 2 numbers. So 2 divided by what is the total number of possible outcomes? 6. So 2 by 6 you can once more simplify 1 by 3. Now second one, you need to find the probability of getting a number less than or equal to 4. See here, how many numbers are there less than or equal to 4? Less than 4, you can see 1, 2, 3 or equal to 4 means 4 is also included. So there are 4 numbers which are less than or equal to 4. So probability of number less than or equal to 4 is equal to 4 numbers are there 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 divided by what is the total number of possible outcomes? 6. So 4 divided by 6 you can write 2 by 3. So 1 by 3 and 2 by 3 are the probabilities. Now we'll just add it. We'll see the sum of probabilities whether it is 1 or not. 1 by 3 plus 2 by 3. So 1 by 3 plus 2 by 3 is equal to, see, 2 plus 1, 3. 3 by 3 again equal to 1. So every time if you add the probability you'll get 1. So I have given you another formula, P of, that is probability of event E plus probability of event not E is equal to 1. This means sum of the probabilities are always equal to 1. Okay, so here you can write P of not E is equal to what? This P of E will go this side. So 1 minus P of E. That means if you get a probability, one probability, you can find the other one. How? Just subtract it from 1 because the sum is 1. So if you want to get the next probability, subtract from 1. That means 1 minus the other probability. Then you can arrive at this probability. Okay, we'll do similar problems. So now you can see example number 4. One card is drawn from a well shuffled deck of 52 cards. Calculate the probability that the card will be an ace, not be an ace. So if you want to find the probability of the card be an ace and not be an ace, first of all you need to know how many ace cards are there in a deck of 52 cards. So you can note this down. So there are totally 52 cards, right? So out of these cards, 52 is divided into two types. One is red, another is black. So there are 26 red cards and 26 black cards. Okay, again it is divided into two types. See, red, out of 26 red cards, there is diamond and there is heart. So 13 diamond cards are there, 13 heart is there. So black is also divided into two types, 13 spade and 13 club. Okay, so 52 is divided into two, red and black, 26 cards red, 26 cards black. Again red card is divided into two types, diamond and heart, 13 13 each. Black card is divided into two, spade and club, again 13 13 each. So each diamond, heart, spade and club is having again, so 13 cards are here. We'll see what are those 13 cards. There will be one king, one queen and one jack and one ace card. Then 2 to 10 numbered cards are there. So altogether 13 cards. King 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 to 10. That means 9 cards. 9 plus 4, 13. Same way, all others will also have the same. King, queen, jack, ace, then 2 to 10 cards. King, queen, jack, ace, 2 to 10. King, queen, jack, ace, 2 to 10. So out of this, you can say this. You can see this king, queen, jack. King, queen, jack. So these king, queen and jack are known as face cards. Okay. So you can conclude from this diagram, there are how many ace cards? See, 1 ace, 2, 3, 4. So out of a deck of 52 cards, you can see 4 ace cards. Then how many face cards are there? Not ace. How many face cards are there? See, these are the face cards, king, queen, jack, king, queen, jack. Add it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 face cards, 4 ace cards, and how many diamond cards are there? See, diamond are 13, heart 13, spade also 13, club also 13. How many black cards? 26, red 26. Okay, so you can write it down. So in a deck of 52 cards, so you can write 4 ace cards, 12 face cards, in bracket you can write king, queen, jack. Okay, 13 spade, club, diamond, heart. These are all 13, and you can write 26 red and black. So these are the distributions. Okay, now you can answer the question. They have asked what is the probability that the card will be an ace. So how many ace cards are there altogether? 4 ace cards. See, total number of possible outcomes are 52 because total 52 cards are there. Out of that, ace cards are 4. So what is the probability of getting an ace? 4 by 52. 4 ace cards divided by total number of possible outcomes. 4 by 52. Second sub question is probability that the card will not be an ace. It won't be an ace. That means ace card will not be there. So total 52. So what is the total of cards will not be ace? 52 minus 4. This 4 is ace cards. Subtract that 4 ace cards from the deck of 52 cards. So you will get 48. So probability of card will not be an ace is equal to 48, because we have subtracted 4 from 52 divided by total 52. So this is the probability of not being an ace. So probability of being an ace is 4 by 52. So if you want, you can check whether the sum is equal to 1 or not. See, 4 by 52 plus 48 by 52. See, 48 plus 4, 52. 52 by 52 again equal to 1. Probability, the sum of probabilities equal to 1. Fifth example, two players, Sangeeta, Reshma, plays a tennis match. It is known that the probability of Sangeeta winning the match is 0.62. What is the probability of Reshma winning the match? So they have given the probability of Sangeeta winning the match. So probability of Sangeeta winning the match equal to, they have given in the question as 0.62. Now we need to find the probability of Reshma winning the match. I have told you, if you get only one probability, you can find the other by subtracting that one from this probability from 1. Okay, so you'll get the other probability because the sum will always be equal to 1. So you can find this easily. Just subtract the 0.62 from 1. So 1 minus 0.62 is equal to 0.38. So easily you have found probability of Reshma winning the match is 0.38. Because you have one probability, you can find the other one. See, P of E is given, probability of event 1 is given. You can find probability of E dash 1 by P of E dash. Okay. Now, next one. Example number 6. Savita and Hamida are friends. What is the probability that both will have different birthdays, same birthdays? You need to ignore leap year. That means you can take, there are 365 days in a year. If it is a leap year, you'll take 366 days, right? So you need to ignore that is a leap year. So take 365 days in a year. So first of all, we need to find what is the probability that both will have different birthdays. So here, this is Savita, this is Hamida. Okay, we need to find the probability of getting different birthdays. Means there are 365 days in a year. So in this 365 days, any one day will be Savita's birthday, right? Any one day, we don't know that day. So any one day is Savita's birthday. So they are telling both have different birthdays. So if Savita's birthday is on any of the day, so that day, that particular day won't be the birthday of Hamida, because they both have different birthdays. So what will be the probability of Hamida's birthday? Hamida's birthday will be of 365 minus 1. This minus 1 is what? Savita's birthday. Savita's birthday we are subtracting from that year. That means both birthdays can't be of same day, different days, right? So I am subtracting that one day from the whole year. 365 minus 1, 364. So you can write probability of Hamida and Savita's birthday is different equal to, what is this, 364. We have subtracted 1. So 364 divided by, what is the total number of days? 365. So this is the probability. 364 divided by 365. So now you got one probability as 364 divided by 365. That is probability that both the birthdays are different. Now you need to find, the second sub question is probability that both will have same birthday. So this is just the opposite of first one. Both will have same birthday. So you got probability of first one, different birthdays, equal to this. So same birthday will be what? I've told you, if you add both, you will get 1. So if you have the probability of 1, you can find the probability of another by simply subtracting from 1, right? So just subtract this 364 divided by 365 from 1. So you'll get the next probability. Because anyways, if you add both, you'll get 1. Sum of probabilities are equal to 1. So you can do like this. So taking LCM, 365 into 365 into 365. So 365 minus 364 divided by 365, you'll get 1 by 365. I'll tell you another way. See, they are asking Probability that both will have same birthday. Same birthday means what? Both will be having on the same day. So what is the probability? Same day means that will be only on one day. The possible favorable outcome is only one, because their birthday is on same day. So 1 by, what is the total number of possible outcomes? Total number of days, 365. That's all. This is the probability, 1 by 365. Same day. That means only one day is there, same day. So 1 by 365. Anyways, you can do, either you can subtract from 1 or you can write directly like this. So now you can come to example number 7. There are 40 students in class 10th of a school of whom 25 are girls and 15 are boys. The class teacher has to select one student as a class representative. She writes the name of each student on a separate card. The cards being identical, then she puts card in a bag and stares them thoroughly. She then throws one card from the bag. What is the probability that the name written on the card is the name of a girl or the name of a boy? So first of all, you write how many girls are there. Girls are, they told 25 girls are there. Boys, number of boys 15. So together there are 40 students, out of which 25 are girls, 15 are boys. You need to find the probability of getting a girl when she draws the card from the bag. Okay, so probability of the card is of a girl is what? How many girls are there together? 25 divided by, what is the total number of possible outcomes? Total number of students 40. That is 25 by 40. You can write 5 by 8. Now you need to find the probability of getting a boy's name. So P of boy is equal to, how many boys are there? 15 boys. So 15 divided by total number of possible outcomes 40. 15 divided by 40, you can write 3 by 8. So you got the probability as 5 by 8 and 3 by 8. If you add both, 5 by 8 plus 3 by 8, you'll get 5 plus 3, 8. 8 by 8 equal to 1. Again, see, sum of probabilities are equal to 1. Come to example number 8. See, a box contains 3 blue, 2 white and 4 red marbles. If a marble is drawn at random from the box, what is the probability that it will be white, blue, red? First of all, write how many white marbles were there. See, white marbles were 2. Then blue marbles 3 and 4 red marbles. Now you need to find the probability that it will be of white. So P of white equal to, how many white? 2. 2 divided by, what is the total number of possible outcome? That means total numbers. 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 4, 9. So 9. 2 by 9 is the probability of getting a white marble. Now you need to find probability of blue. How many blue marbles? 3. So 3 by 9. Then probability of red, 4. 4 by total 9. So these are the probabilities. If you add this 3, again you will get 1. 2 by 9, 3 by 9, 4 by 9. See, 2 by 9 plus 3 by 9 plus 4 by 9. See, 4 plus 3, 3 plus 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 2, 9. 9 by 9, which is equal to 1 again. Okay, that's all example number 8. Now we can come to 9. Ninth one. Harpreet tosses 2 different coins simultaneously. Say one is of rupees 1 and another one of rupees 2. What is the probability that she gets at least one head? See, she tossed 2 different coins. So first of all, write what are the total possible number of outcomes. If you toss 2 coins, in the first time you will be getting one edge, another edge, or maybe one head, one tail, or maybe the first one shows one tail, second one head, or it can be tail. These are the possible outcomes. So these are the possible outcomes. Either it will be head and head, or head and tail, or tail and head, or tail and tail. So this first one shows the first coin. This one is the second coin. So first coin, second coin. Okay, like that. So these are the total number of possible outcomes. In that, what they are asking, what is the probability that she gets at least one head? At least one head means at least there should be one head. See here, at one head is there 1, then 2, 3. Here also head. So what is the number? 1, 2, 3. So probability of at least one head equal to how many? 1, 2, 3. 3 by, what is the total number of outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 by 4 is your probability. Okay. So example number 10. So you can see it is given here, note from examination point of view. Still we'll do it. In a musical chair game, the person playing the music has been advised to stop playing the music at any time within 2 minutes after she starts playing. What is the probability that the music will stop within the first half minute after starting? See, consider this is that they have told in a musical chair game, the person playing the music has been advised to stop playing the music at any time within 2 minutes. So within 2 minutes means, consider this is of 2 minutes. Okay, from 0 to 2. So within 2 minutes, he is advised to stop the music. Okay. Now, what we need to find the probability that the music will stop within first half minute. First half minute means, consider this is half minute, then 1.5, just consider like that. So this is the first half minute, 0 to half. So we need to find the probability of the music will stop within first half minute. So you can write P of music is stopped in first half minute is equal to, since it is first half minute, so you can write half divided by what is the total number. He is advised to stop playing the music at any time within 2 minutes. So this is a total possible outcome. So within 2, that means divided by 2 total. So 1 by 2 divided by 2 is the probability. You can simplify. 1 by 2 divided by 2 is what? You'll multiply this both, 1 by 2 into 2 equal to 1 by 4 is the probability, is the answer. Okay. Now 11th one. This is also not from the examination point of view, but I think it's easy. A missing helicopter is reported to have crashed somewhere in the rectangular region shown in figure 15.2. So you can see figure 15.2 here. What is the probability that it crashed inside the lake? So what we need to find, what is the probability that the helicopter crashed inside the lake? For that, we need to know what is the area of the lake. So the probability will be area of this lake divided by what is the total probability. Total means area of this whole rectangular region. That's all. Area of the lake divided by area of the whole rectangular region. So how will you find area of the rectangular region? Area of rectangle is equal to L into B. So length is given 9. What is breadth? 4.5. So you can find the area of this rectangular region as 9 into 4.5. Right? You'll get somewhat 40.5. So this is the area of the rectangular region. Now you need to find area of this lake. How to find this? See, this whole is what? It's given this side 4.5. Out of this part is what? 2 kilometer. So if you need to find this part, just subtract 2 kilometers from 4.5. So 4.5 minus 2 is what? 2.5. So you got this value as 2.5. The same way this side. So this whole is what? 9 kilometers. See, this side it is given 9. And till here it is 6. So how to find this portion? 9 minus 6? 3. Now you got this side as 3. This is 2.5. So area of this lake is what? 3 into 2.5. You'll get 7.5. Now easily you can find the probability of the helicopter crashed inside the lake. Probability of this 7.5 divided by what we got? 40.5. So you can write, okay, area of the rectangular region equal to 4.5 into 9, which is equal to 40.5. Area of the lake equal to 2.5 into 3, which is equal to 7.5. Now, probability of helicopter crashed in the lake equal to 7.5 divided by the whole area of the whole region is 40.5. So 7.5 divided by 40.5 will be 5 by 27. Simplify it. Into 10 into 10. So it will be 75 by 405. If you simplify, you'll get 5 by 27. Example number 12. A carton consists of 100 shirts, of which 88 are good, 8 have minor defects, 4 have major defects. Jimmy, a trader, will only accept the shirts which are good, but Sujata, another trader, will only reject the shirts which have major defects. One shirt is drawn at random from the carton. What is the probability that it is acceptable to Jimmy, it is acceptable to Sujata? First of all, we'll write the given details. So, how many shirts were there to get all together? Total shirts were 100. Okay, out of that, good shirts, in shirts which are in good condition, are 88. Shirts which have minor defects, 8. Shirts which have major defects, 4. Right? So we need to find the probability that it is acceptable to Jimmy. So it is given in the second sentence, Jimmy will only accept the shirts which are good. Only good shirts he will accept. So how many good shirts are there? So you can write probability that it is acceptable to Jimmy. You write like that. Acceptable to Jimmy equal to, see how many good shirts are there? 88. So write 88 divided by, what is the total number of shirts? 100. So this is the probability. 88 divided by 100 will be 0.88. Now, second one, the probability that it is acceptable to Sujata. So it is given in the same second sentence. Sujata will only reject the shirts which have major defects. So she won't take this major shirts with major defects. That means she'll take this minor defects, right? So she'll take shirts with minor defects, and also obviously she'll take good shirts. She won't accept this one, shirts with major defects. So how many are there? 88 plus 8, 96. So you can write probability that shirt is acceptable to Sujata equal to 88 plus 8 is 96, total 100. So 96 divided by 100 will be 0.96. See here, probability is 0.96 and 0.88. So we got both. Now you can come to next one, example number 13. Two dice, one blue and one grey, are thrown at the same time. Write down all the possible outcomes. What is the probability that the sum of two numbers appearing on the top of the dice is 8, 13, less than or equal to 12? These are the sub questions. So they told two dice are thrown. See, when two dice are thrown, what are the possible number of outcomes? If one die is thrown, the possible number of outcome is 6. Because in a die, there will be 6 numbers. So if two dice are thrown, it will be the square of this. That means 6 into 6, 36 outcomes will be there. I'll show you how this 36 came. See, if two dice are there, it may be 1, 1. In the first die, it will show number 1. In the second die, it will show number 1. It can be like this, 1, 2. It can be 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, up to 1, 6, because the maximum number in a die is 6. So up to 1, 6. Again, it can show 2, 1. In the first die, it will show 2, number 2. Second die, it will show 1. So the same way it will go on, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, etc. up to 2, 6. Third one, 3, 1, 3, 2, etc. up to 3, 6. Same way, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1. It won't go 7, 1 because the maximum number is 6. Same way up to 6, 6. So if you add everything, you'll get 36. 6 into 6, 36 number of outcomes are there. Now you can come to the question. Sub question 1 is, what is the probability that the sum, see, it is the sum of two numbers appearing on the top of the die is 8. So if you add 2, this is the two things which is coming on the top of the dice. So if you add two numbers, you need to get 8. 1 plus 2, is it 8? No. So you can write what are the possible number of outcomes. First of all, you write total number of possible outcomes is equal to 36. Then come to the sub question number 1. Sum should be equal to 8. So it can be 2 and 6. Add it. 2 plus 6, 8. Okay, it can be reverse of this, 6 and 2, again 8. It can be 3 and 5. 5 plus 3, 8. Sum should be 8. Okay. It can be the reverse, 3 and 5. Sorry, reverse, 5 and 3. It can be 4 and 4. Reverse is always 4 and 4. Okay. So these are the possible outcomes. Anything else? In which you'll add both numbers, you need to get 8. I think only this many numbers are there. 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So probability of getting sum equal to 8 is how many? 5 divided by what is the total? 36. So 5 by 36 is the probability. Now the second sub question is, if you add, sum should be 13. Okay, you check, write anything and see when you add both numbers, you are getting 13 or not. See, you won't get 13 at all because the maximum number is what? 6 and 6. First die will show 6, next die will show 6. This is the maximum number. 6 plus 6 is what? 12. So you won't get 13 at all. The maximum is 12. So you can write, there is no outcome favorable to event. Favorable to this event. Sum of two numbers is equal to 13. So you can write P of sum equal to 13 equal to 0. This is what type of an event? I told you, if the probability is equal to 0, this is impossible events. Okay, there is no probability. There is no outcome favorable to this event. The sum of two numbers is equal to 13. Therefore, P of probability is equal to 0. This is known as, I don't write this, I have simply told you this is an impossible event. Okay. Now the third one is probability that the sum is less than or equal to 12. It should be less than 12 or equal to 12. See, I told you the maximum level is 6 and 6. That is 12. 6 plus 6 is equal to 12. So the probability of getting less than or equal to 12 is what? Full. For everything is less than or equal to 12. I've told you everything. 1, 2, 1, 3, everything. 2, 1. So if you add everything, it will be always less than or equal to 12 because the maximum level is 12. So the probability of sum less than or equal to 12 equal to how much? Everything. 36. There are 36 outcomes divided by what is the total? 36. Both are 36. So 36 divided by 36 is 1. Okay, sum less than or equal to 12. Everything satisfies this condition, right? Everything is less than or equal to 12. If you take any number, it will be always less than or equal to 12. So there are 36 number of outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. That is also 36. 36 by 36 equal to 1. That's all. We are done with the examples. Now you can come to exercise 15.1. So first one, complete the following statements. Read the first question. Probability of an event E plus probability of an event not E. I've already told you, probability of an event E and not E will always be, this is a summation, plus always be equal to 1. Okay, sum of all the probabilities will be equal to 1. Now the second one, the probability of an event that cannot happen. I told you cannot happen. Probability will be always 0 because it cannot happen and it is impossible event. So you can write such an event is called impossible event. Okay. Third one, the probability of an event that is certain to happen, told you, that is certain to happen is equal to 1. Probability will be 1. And such an event is called sure or certain event. Already given you the notes. The sum of, fourth one, the sum of probabilities of all the elementary events of an event is, of an experiment is elementary events. That is also given your note. Elementary event is 1. Elementary event will have only one outcome. Now fifth one, the probability of an event greater than or equal to dash and less than or equal to dash. Probability of an event is greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 1. I told you the probability will always lie between 0 and 1. That means it is greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 1. Between 0 and 1. Now you can come to the second one. Which of the following experiments have equally likely outcomes? That also I have given you the note. Equally likely means what? The event that has same theoretical probability of occurring, or the probability will be equal, right? So the first one, a driver attempts to start a car. The car starts or does not start. This is what kind of an event? Is this an equally likely outcome? No. So this does not have equally likely outcome. Why? Because the car may or may not start. It depends upon various factors like the fuel and all. So the car may or may not start. Right? So this is not an equally likely outcome. Second one, a player attempts to shoot a basketball. he or she shoots or misses the shot. This is also not equally likely outcome because the player may shoot or miss the shot. This is not a sure event to happen, right? So the player may shoot or miss the shot. Come to the third one. A trial is made to answer a true or false question. The answer is right or wrong. This is an equally likely outcome because this is a sure event. If the answer is not right, it will be wrong. If the answer is not wrong, it will be right. That is a sure event to happen, right? So the solution is either right or wrong. So that is equally likely outcome. Now, a baby is born. It is a boy or a girl. This is also equally likely outcome because the baby will be a boy or a girl, right? That is also a sure thing. So, third and fourth sub questions are what? Equally likely outcome. First and two is not equally likely outcome as they are not sure. It may or may not happen. Okay. Now the third one. Why is tossing a coin considered to be a fair way of deciding which team should get the ball at the beginning of a football game? So they are asking why we need to toss a coin before starting a game. Okay. Why you are tossing a coin to decide which team should get the ball first, right? So why is it a fair way of decision? So you can write down. Okay, write the answer. Tossing a coin is a fair way of deciding. Tossing a coin is a fair way of deciding because the number of possible outcomes, the number of possible outcomes, what is the number of possible outcomes when you toss a coin? Are only two, right? If you toss a coin, the total number of possible outcomes are only two. So you can write are only two. What is that two? Either head or a tail. So head or tail. These are the two possible outcomes. Since these two outcomes, what is these two outcomes? Equally likely outcome because this is a sure event. If the coin doesn't show a head, it will be surely a tail. Okay. So this is equally likely outcome. Are an equally likely outcome. Then you can write tossing as unpredictable. Tossing, because it is an equally likely outcome. Tossing is unpredictable. And is considered to be completely unbiased. And is considered to be completely unbiased. Okay. Now you can come to the fourth question. Which of the following cannot be the probability of an event? See, I have told you the probability of event always lies between 0 and 1. It will be a positive integer. So you need to check which cannot be a probability of an event. Okay. First one, 2 by 3. Can 2 by 3 a probability of an event? So what is 2 by 3? Somewhat 0.666. Is it lie between 0 and 1? Yes. So this can be probability of an event. Second one, minus 1.5. This is minus. Minus cannot be a probability. So this cannot be the probability of an event. Now 15%. 15% means what? 15 divided by 100. Again 0.15. This can be probability of an event. 0.7. Obviously it lies between 0 and 1. So all this can be a probability of an event except the second one, minus 1.5. You can come to the fifth one. P of E is given 0.05. Now you need to find what is the probability of not E. P of E is given 0.05. See, in the question they have given P of E, that is 0.05. You need to find P of not E. Not E means what? E dash. What is P of not E? Simply subtract it from 1 because the sum is always 1. So if you need to get another probability, just subtract it from 1. 1 minus 0.05 is what? 0.95. You got it. P of not E is equal to 0.95. That's all for today. From question number 6, We'll start in the next class. Okay. So now we have completed till question number 5. I think that's enough for today.